Hey guys, welcome to Talk About It Thursday with Bree. So today we're going to be talking about self-forgiveness. That moment you're like, gosh, I'm so dumb. Why did I do that? Or why did I say that? Or how could I have done that? And then you have that feeling of like being ashamed of yourself, having regret maybe, and feeling guilty. And I'm going to tell you from experience that this will linger on, this will drag you down, this will hold you down, and even though you think it's so small, even though you think it's such a small thing that like it's such a long time ago, you're not even thinking about it anymore. Like something like, let me see an example. Okay, so there's this guy, and he's a friend, well I consider him an associate, and he was saying that years ago, him and his roommates had an apartment. The cable was under one of the roommates' father's name. He did not pay his last month's worth of cable bill, so either his dad or maybe his roommate had to cover that payment. This was like who knows how many years ago, but he's still thinking about it. There's still a cord there. There's still energy that's being sucked up by him, and you could tell he felt bad about it. And you know, I'm sure he knows that it was wrong, they shouldn't do it, but why didn't he ever, you know, call him and say, I apologize? Why didn't he ever just pay them back? He has the money for it. You know, like, what are those things that are holding us back? And we have to realize, like, hey, we have to take ownership of the things that we do. And that's part of evolving, and that's part of becoming the best version of yourself. That's part of becoming the man that you are. That's part of becoming the woman that you truly are, right? When we are able to come face to face with what it is that we've done, and we can say, dang, you were a bad choice, a bad decision, you know, I was not thinking wisely, you know, I was not thinking about my future when I did this, when I behaved in this way. But I'm in a different place now. This is a new day, a new time, and I can take responsibility for my actions. And this is what I'm going to do to let this go so that I can move on and be free of anything holding me back. And you're going to feel so much better about yourself when you give yourself that room, that space to start again and feel refreshed in that way. So first up is just being aware of what you did. You did it. You thought wrongly, you behaved wrongly, you hurt somebody. It's the thing, right? It's the thing that you have to be aware of that you did. When you realize that this is what I'm doing and I know I should not be doing this, some people, and sometimes you, or sometimes somebody that you know, will keep on doing the same repetitive behavior until finally they've just had enough of it. They've accumulated so much baggage, so much anger about it, so much whatever emotion it is, frustration about it. And they're like, finally, I'm done. And sometimes they don't ever get over it. They don't ever stop. And that's when those bad habits start coming in, right? Those bad habits start coming in when we start feeling bad about ourselves, and now we have to do something to make us feel better about it. Right? We have to go and find things outside of ourselves to feel better because internally we're not feeling great. Because we know that internally we know we can be doing better. Right? We know that we can be doing better, but we don't. And so we have to suppress those feelings, right? We have to hide those things from ourselves. We're trying to hide those things from ourselves, so we look outside ourselves to get that, to erase that, to block that feeling that we're experiencing. Someone who has really helped me along my journey has told me about forgiveness mantras, and you know, he said repeat it. In yoga there's malas, and there's 108 beads where you repeat forgiveness mantras. In yoga, that's a mala. In Catholicism, there's a rosary. If you count the beads on the rosary, you're going to count 108 beads on the circle part. And every morning, this is something personal that, it works. It makes me feel so much freer. I repeat 108 times a forgiveness mantra. And let me tell you, the first time that I did this mantra, I cried. I was sobbing. I didn't even know that I had all of this. I did not even know that I had all of this stuff on me that I needed to let go of. I did not even know it until I actually sat down and asked for forgiveness from whoever I had ever hurt. Whoever has ever hurt me, I forgive you. It was such a powerful experience that when I was done, I felt so much lighter. I felt so much lighter, and every day that I do them, I feel so much more connected to who I truly am. And it's given me, when I go into those meditations, when I go into the forgiveness mantras, I become more aware of my actions. I become more aware of how I've did someone wrong, or how someone has wronged me, and maybe why they've done that. And I've been able to understand maybe why people do the things that they do, and I've been able to forgive them. And then I realized there's so many things that I have done to people that I need to apologize for. And when you realize how heavy that feeling of guilt is, how heavy that feeling of being ashamed is, you're going to understand the importance of asking other people for forgiveness. Because when someone else forgives you, when you acknowledge that you've done something wrong, and you say, you know, I want to apologize. I know this is years ago, but I want to apologize, you know, about this, and that, because that was really wrong of me, you know? And sometimes people are like, oh my God, I forgot about that. Like, I didn't even remember that. But because you even remembered that thing that you did wrong while you were repeating the mantra, or while you were asking for forgiveness, that's something that's holding you back. That was a piece of energy that now you can use for something else that's not being gobbled up in some part of your brain or your mind or your spiritual whatever, and holding on to you, you know? Now, this is going to bring more awareness to the steps and the things that you do every single day, so that way you don't start accumulating more and more baggage that's going to make you feel more and more less worthy of having great things in your life, right? Because ultimately, we want to have the best life ever. We want to be able to conquer and fulfill all of our dreams and all of our goals. But why doesn't everyone have the capability of doing that? What is stopping all of us from doing that? And one of the things that I had to realize is it's all the crap and all the that I did that makes me feel like I'm a bad person and I don't deserve these beautiful, awesome things, because I'm not worthy of those things, right? But when you ask for forgiveness from within and you forgive yourself, all that starts to go away, and all of a sudden you say, dang girl, or dang man, I am so worthy of having all these awesome things. Like, I don't feel guilty when I look in the mirror and I smile at myself and I'm able to say, hey there, you know, like, good morning. Like, that does not bother me, because like, I can actually do that. I can actually look in the mirror and say, hey, you know, and smile and appreciate my smile and appreciate, you know, all the beauty that I am as a human, not as my body, but as a being, you know, because now I've been able to let go of just enough so I can start feeling the momentum start building. Right? I can start to feel the momentum start building and building. And that is really the beginning of how I'm living an awesome life. I think I just hit something. I think I just hit a piece of my puzzle, a piece of my life that I've never really talked about or expressed before. But that is really a big part in how I'm manifesting all these awesome things in my life. And I think it's because I finally feel worthy of them, because I finally am able to woman up. You know, I'm finally able to man up to like what I've done, and I'm able to get rid of all the bad juju. And this is how you know someone's actually truly healing. You know, because anybody can just be like, oh, I'm sorry, like, I didn't mean to do that. But then they go and they do it again. You know what I'm saying? Like, that means that that person is still, like, subconsciously, they have not forgiven themselves, right? So when you see a person, like, that says to you, like, I am sorry for whatever. Like, I am sorry for, this is an easy one. Cheating. If you're in a relationship and someone cheats on you, right? You know, like, I'm sorry, I'm never gonna do it again. Okay, and then they go and do it again. Now, obviously they were not really truly sorry. You know, they have not, I mean, you might have forgiven them, but they didn't really change, right? Because remember, we talked about when you ask for forgiveness, that's part of letting go and giving you the space and the freedom to move forward and continue. Now, sometimes people lie to themselves, right? And they're gonna say sorry, but they don't really mean it, right? So we know that people actually truly mean it when they actually put the action to the words. They start changing their patterns, they start changing their habits, because they realize, I don't want to feel this way anymore. So they're actually gonna start doing things to change. Now, when you really truly want to change something within you, you are going to start changing your patterns. You're going to start changing your behavior and actions. And when you do that, you're going to be tested. I'm telling you this right now. You are going to be tested, and there's going to be this point where you think you're good and you're doing your thing, and next thing you know, there's going to be something that's going to come and try you. It's going to come and test you and see, did this person actually change? And then this is the moment, and it's every day, it's every second, it's every action that you do. You have to conquer that moment every time. Conquer it every time. And these are the baby steps. And if you don't conquer every time, you got to start again and say, you know what? I forgive you for not doing it this time, but I'm going to do my best to continue doing my best. And every time you do your best, and every time you do your best, and every time you climb, and every time you do your best, and every time you climb, when you fall, you already had so much practice, it's going to be easier and easier for you to get back up and continue doing it. And nobody is going to be able to tell you anything that's going to make you feel bad about what you're doing, because you already know your intention, you already know your why, and you already have so much self-assurance and self-confidence and self-understanding of your reasonings on why you live the way you're living or why you're doing what you're doing, that when people say things to you, it's going to be a little bit harder for them to get to you, because you know your true intention. And that is to live a life where you feel comfortable and confident, self-assured, and connected to all things that are beautiful and well, that are going to help you help others, right? That are going to help you get to what you need to do to help the rest of your community, your family, and the world around you. Because we all have a duty. We all have a purpose, right, on earth here. And we cannot fulfill that purpose unless we are completely clean of all of the heaviness. Right? We have to empty out all of that heaviness to bring in all of that beauty. Another thing I want to touch on the forgiveness is sometimes when you ask for forgiveness, the other person may not forgive you. You may say, I realize I did this wrong, and I'd like you to know that I apologize. Now, the other person may not forgive you, but the fact that you apologized, you're changing your ways, and you're doing your best to change, it's up to that person to either forgive, right, or not forgive. And if they do not forgive you, that's their burden that they have to carry. Okay, that's something that they have to deal with. That's something that they have to internally reflect on. And sometimes it may take a while for them to forgive you, and sometimes they will not forgive you, and that is okay. You do the best that you can possibly do, right? We're all doing our best. So lead by example, right? We don't have to push our mission or our purpose or our intention on somebody else. You do you, right? And whoever is supposed to be on the journey with you, whoever is supposed to forgive you at that moment, whoever is supposed to continue the journey along with you will be with you along the way. And another quote that one of my friends or fellow teammates has told me recently is, you cannot say the wrong thing to the right person, right? So what I mean by that is, there's nothing wrong with apologizing, because if it's coming from the heart, it is of pure intention and you did your best, and that person is supposed to be in your life, then they will be in your life. So thank you for listening. I hope this has helped you in some way. It is my honor to be in front of you right now and sharing my experience with you. Thank you, and tune in next Thursday for our next Talk About It Thursday. If this has helped you in any way, please share this video. If there's someone that you know that needs to hear this video, please share it with them. And make sure that you like the Reader Hernandez page. It's a new and growing page. Thank you.